Vinyl records not only record timbre, but also precious historical memories.
I found about 10 Beatles and John Lennon rehearsal never published before.
Whether it is a birthday or anniversary, opening a bottle of champagne is always a sign of celebration. Let's make some champagne cocktails and share important moments with friends and family. Cassette tapes, vinyl records, CDs, gramophones and open reels. These precious records and audio equipments are the collections of this record museum. James has been a record enthusiast since he was a child. In this museum, every item in his collection is extremely rare. He has done research from the record industry, listening, playing and collecting in order to preserve the precious cultural value of music. Hi James.
Hi Lauren.
Now I know you've listened to music for a very, very long time. You know a lot about music.
All right.
Yeah. So can you explain a little bit to me about music quality? I mean, how do they differ?
If I define music quality by audiophile, this term is so personal. What I mean audiophile, you might not accept it.
Yeah.
So, but I have created a chart. It's called a music DNA sound quality chart. I use reference as a master tape 100%, like the 999 Gold. Then vinyl, for the best Japanese red vinyl, only can capture 50% of the master tape. So you don't need to spend $5 million to buy a turntable to take it. Just follow me, buy an open reel, a couple of thousand, get a cheap open reel tape, boom, you get 70%.
Of the original?
Yeah.
But if you go all the way down, it's only 5%.
Yeah, the 95% is the DJ.
Yeah. But you talk about the original master tape, right? So
Yeah.
you've got a chart here. What does this explain?
Actually, it explains the family tree, the analog family tree of the products.
Okay.
So vinyl is not the second generation from master tape. You cannot say direct cut the master tape from master tape and vinyl. It's not possible. It's a tape, it's a vinyl, two media.
But would you say with technology, it has made it better or worse?
So far, it's worse.
Why'd you say that?
As I said, only the day one they use the original master tape. 10 years later, might not be sure of the gear. Yeah. 50 years later, forget about it.
Yeah.
Without the same ingredient, how can you cook the same dishes?
Why do you think it has changed? Is it because of business? Is it because of...
Purely business. Easy to handle.
Right.
Handle master tape costs a lot of money and warehouse and temperature control, everything. A file is easy, right?
Yeah.
The whole record company can just one hard drive can contain everything.
And that's the reason for losing some of the originality.
Yeah, they just add color.
Now, I see you have a huge collection of records and hardware and things like that. Is there one or some particular items that you have a story behind that you can share with us?
Oh, the one I'm most impressed with is I got a producer of a record company. He got a couple of thousand records at home, but I said, I don't need records, I have many already. He said, he got a couple of metal discs at home also. Oh, really? Mine already think, this cannot be copied. It must be the internal document of the record company. Wow, I like that. So I said, give me all. So very heavy. You cannot ship at once, so heavy, like shipping a stone. So, and you clean it up. I test one by one. I found about 10 Beatles and John Lennon rehearsal never published before.
Wow.
Especially the most impressive is John Lennon Imagine. One day he must have very good mood and set the microphone so close to you that like he's singing next to you. So touching. Before I loved the original so much, it made me cry, but after that, you know there's another level. It's the best John Lennon ever. But no one knows it was lost in the producer's house. But I was lucky to acquire it, and then I can broadcast in the radio station. Here, people can come and listen. I want all the artists' precious hard work can expose to the world. It's culture.
Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer.
From James's museum, you can hear the music of the Beatles, Beyond, Michael Jackson, and Teresa Tang from different sources and in different versions. With so many items in his collection, which 5 would James say are his most precious?
For me, I will pick the first one is this lacquer or acetate. This is a direct cut from master tape in the process of manufacturing 7-inch single. Normally, it's all destroyed, but I still find one here. The second one, I will pick this one. This is a 1966. During the process of manufacturing the Beatles' Revolver album, so the team, production team, who wrote the name of the titles, the songs, with a fountain pen. You can see that the last word is lack of ink. So he then used the pencil to fill the side B. And the label, the white label, also used the pen to fill all the letters. And this is a red vinyl white label, top of the foot line. The third one I feel very precious is this one. It's published on 1939. It's a 78 gramophone. The artist was very famous on that time. It's called Yoshiko Yamaguchi. And during the wartime, they still published vinyl. And she was singing 何日君再來 in Mandarin. But the label, they write down Mongolian. So maybe published in the Mongolian country. And the Japanese told me that that time was vinyl is very, very important resource that they were not allowed to publish, but still published. So it's very, very rare. So I keep it. I'm so happy. The fourth one is a hardware. It's a very famous Studer master tape recorder. It was used to publish vinyl. So, and I acquired plenty of vintage master tape, so I need a perfect gear to rebuild the whole sound stage that happened at the studio. So people will feel like they are there.
Is there only one in the world?
No, but surviving one is not many. The final one is a professional cassette recorder made by Studer, a Swiss company. It can truly express how the tape sounds. As far as I know, if the cassette parallel release with the vinyl, it is superior than any vinyl.
So just by looking at a record, can I tell sort of what generation it is, or do I have to listen to it first?
Very easy. Even online, before you buy, you already know the result if you learn from here.
Okay.
So here we have 2 vinyl. One is for sale is Japan, first edition. How do you confirm? There's a catalog number for any vinyl in the whole world. Enter to the computer. Probably you can find the publishing year. And Odeon, second, the label, is launched 1964, 4 years earlier than Apple label. And the packaging and cover and everything is totally different. It's so heavy, this one.
Yeah, this one is quite heavy, yeah.
Double sleeves, open, you have a poster like this. This one is nothing.
Yep.
But some manufacturer, they might think of some new tricks that I give it as thick as a chopping pot. Yeah.
A thicker sleeve.
Yeah, it's very thick. You're happy?
Yeah.
But I'm not buying a plastic thick thing, you know? It doesn't help. Thicker doesn't mean better.
Heavier doesn't mean better.
Totally nonsense.
What about the actual vinyl? Is it a different material?
For vinyl, I found out the top of the food chain is the black technology invented by Toshiba record plant on 1958. They invented on this burgundy red color vinyl. It is not a color vinyl. It's made from original ingredient color. So it's not a color vinyl. Color vinyl sounds worse than black vinyl normally. So we don't recommend colorful or patterned vinyl, picture this, those, and that. It's not so good. This red vinyl only survived 1958 to 1974, no more. Nobody knows this secret formula anymore.
So, you know, with this having such a cultural value and it having to last hundreds of years, do you think vinyl, like the good stuff, can make it back into sort of mainstream culture for young people?
Absolutely, can last a few hundred years. But I hope the manufacturer, please don't save money. Go back to the old cutting process of lacquer. So the new products will have a sound stage coming back. That's my wish.
You know, for that, I want to thank you, because before I didn't know the difference. But now that I've come here and I've listened to what it should sound like, I mean,
You become an expert.
it was just a musical
With
delicacy.
bare eyes, you can tell this
Yeah,
one.
I mean, the sound is crisper, the singing is fuller, it's warmer.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm falling in love with vinyls as well. The original vinyls.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Lena, at the mention of champagne, what comes to mind?
I would think of romance, celebrations, affairs where a bottle of champagne can be shared with your loved ones. What about you?
Well, I'm thinking of F1 award ceremonies. Everybody's popping open bottles of champagne. You know that the moment champagne is brought out, the crowd goes wild.
Well, certainly the two situations we described are very different, but there's something in common. If there's a bottle of champagne popped, you know there's going to be a magic moment.
Champagne is a type of sparkling wine, but only those produced in the Champagne region of France can be called champagne. Many people choose to drink champagne on special occasions, loving the pop sound it makes.
Nowadays, young people love to drink champagne, but to choose the right bottle for the right occasion is a bigger task than expected. Let's ask Delphine, a champagne expert, on how to choose the perfect bottle.
The price of champagne can vary greatly depending on a couple of elements, for example, region and production method and vintage. Just like red wine and white wine, the vintage of champagne can have a great impact on its price. So when we talk about vintage champagne, we are talking about a champagne made from the grapes that was harvested in the same year. So when it comes to a great year, for example, 2012 is a great vintage year, and it means that the weather in that year it's near perfect. So the grapes will produce more quality product and have more complexity in their wine. So if next time you want to impress your friends with your champagne knowledge, try go for a vintage champagne and try look for 2012 year.
Hi, Delphine. So before we drink champagne, there's something I want to ask. Is there something that we should do before we drink it?
So when it comes to drinking champagne, actually it's very similar to drinking red wine. So it's always recommended to observe the color, the bubble, and aroma. I always use what I call LST method. So LST is look and smell and taste. You can look at the fine bubble, is the bubble fine? So you can give a smell before swirling the champagne to get a more volatile aroma. And then you can smell again after you swirl the champagne and you get different aroma. And last, you can taste the champagne, so you can capture some fruitiness or some structure like the sweetness or the dryness. And it's also recommended to drink champagne at the suitable temperature. Normally, it's around 8 to 10 Celsius degree. So the first champagne we will taste is a brut champagne. This champagne is perfect for those who like a citrusy and refreshing flavor. So the word brut in champagne stands for dry, so it has lower sugar content.
It is a little bit less full-bodied, I have to say, so I can understand where the dryness comes from.
And this brut champagne that we are tasting is even lower than the standard with only less than 7 grams per liter. If you're looking for a champagne for a more special occasion, for example, a romantic night with your date, and I would recommend this rosé champagne. This rosé champagne is perfect for those who are looking for a bit of color in their life and also in the glass.
Oh.
So it has a very nice, beautiful pink hue compared to the champagne that we had earlier. So this one looks more fun and with a more fruity flavor. I can taste like raspberry, a little bit strawberry. So it's mainly like a berry kind of fruit flavor. And the pink hue, it's actually coming from the Pinot Noir, the grapes Pinot Noir. So that's where it gives this delicate pink hue.
And I can definitely see this being like a party kind of drink with the girls. I definitely see that.
For sure.
Cheers.
Cheers again. Cheers.
And last, I would like to share this Blanc de Blanc champagne with you. So Blanc de Blanc, it's made from 100% Chardonnay grapes. It has normally a more buttery, more toasty flavor. So it's perfect to pair with some creamy or heavy dishes like pasta or foie gras. So you can have a taste and see how do you like it.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
So you can capture like a bread brioche kind of flavor. It reminds me of bakery, bread.
It's like yeasty.
Yes, like toasty.
It's a little bit more versatile, isn't it? Because the sugar, the quality of the sugar is almost caramel-like.
Yes, you can taste that bakery kind of flavor and aroma.
So Delphine, I know that people like drinking champagne, but they also like putting it in cocktails. I know you've won awards for your cocktails. Can you please try making us 3 different cocktails with these 3 different champagnes?
Sure. So the first champagne cocktail I would like to share with you is actually called the classic champagne cocktail. So it uses cognac, VSOP cognac as a base, and we will add a sugar cube, and then we put chocolate bitters, and then we give a little bit model to mix the bitters. We pour in the brut champagne. We give it a little swirl to mix it well. And last but not least, we give a little bit citrus aroma from the lemon peel. And then there you have it, the classic champagne cocktail.
Well, let's have ourselves a little taste. Oh my. I can feel it up to my eyes.
It's so rich as well. I don't know if it's because of the bitters or if it's because of the cognac, but the body is incredible.
You girls like it? Yeah.
Well, we love it. But I have to say that the aroma is so citrusy.
It comes from the citrus spirit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit zest will also enhance the drinking experience.
Oh, because that's the first thing we smell, but also the last thing we taste, I feel.
So the second champagne cocktail I would like to make for you girls, it's called French Kiss.
Ooh,
How romantic.
I know.
Let's start with gin, and then a little bit citrus from lemon, some raspberry. Just give it a muddle. We have more fruitiness and refreshness from this cocktail. Quite a bit of shaking. Top up with a rosé champagne. And last but not least, it's a nice, cute raspberry garnish on the top.
Let's see if we look like we had French kiss after we have a sip.
Let's try.
Cheers. Ooh, I like this one more than the classic champagne, because this one is like It's sweet, it's fruity. I like the fruity part. And I think this is a color that I would like to drink. I like girly drinks, so.
The raspberry is so strong though, and it unlocked a flavor I didn't realize the rosé champagne had in the first place, which is like the red fruits. So it complements it really well, I have to say. Kudos to you, well done.
Thank you. So the last cocktail is actually perfect to pair with a dessert, like after dinner cocktail. We will start with hazelnut liqueur, and then we can add a little bit of orange juice. And for this cocktail, I would like to use Blanc de Blanc for its creamy and toasty flavor. So it matches really well with the nutty flavor from the hazelnut liqueur. And then we give like a cute little flower for the garnish. And I also get some mascarpone cheese for you to enjoy with this hazelnut mimosa.
Ooh,
There we go.
ooh, it smells very nutty right off the bat.
It's almost chocolatey, Nutella-like.
Oh, it's almost like savory almost, huh?
It just warms your entire body, honestly.
So you can see the intense flavor from the hazelnut actually goes very well with the creamy taste of the Blanc de Blanc champagne.
This is my favorite combination yet.
It is almost like having a slice of cake, honestly, because of the layers, the complexity of the flavors. You've got the general Nutella sweetness from this, and then it just feels very baked, almost like a pastry.
The smoothness
got a bit
of
of this.
right, the cheese, and then the smoothness of the buttery creaminess of the Blanc de Blanc. When it goes together, it's just like two
Melts in your
silky,
mouth.
satiny kind of flavors together.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So Delphine, since you love cocktails and champagne so much, right, what would you say is the essence of a sweet life? Is it to create the perfect cocktail?
For me, the pleasure of drinking alcohol, it's not about making the perfect cocktail, but rather than appreciating the flavor and the texture in your drinks. And the most importantly is to sharing the experience with your friends and your loved ones.
It's the experience, isn't it?
I wholeheartedly agree. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Thank you.